From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 11, streaming now.
Tomorrow, new restrictions will go into effect in Marion County to slow the spread of COVID-19. The changes are once again forcing businesses to quickly adapt. Thanks for joining us tonight at 11 o'clock. I'm Nicole Griffin. Marion County leaders are now requiring bars and entertainment venues to go down to 25% capacity and restaurants to 50% indoors. We talked to local businesses about the impact this will have right before the holidays.
We're going to open tomorrow and we're going to see what happens. There's just no telling.
Located right on Monument Circle, Supremacy has been a prime lunch spot for downtown workers for many years. But since the start of the pandemic, the store manager says they went from 90% of sales coming from people buying lunch in the store to now down to 10%.
We want employees back in the offices, back in the buildings. Parents that were back at work are now back at home because they have to stay home with their kids.
In order to adapt, Supremacy is relying on lunch delivery, meal deals, and frozen delivery. Jason Manship, the owner of Moonshot Games, is continuously adapting as well. On Monday, his Mass Ave location will be reduced down to 25% capacity.
We're just fighting through it like everyone else. I think restrictions come and go, rules change, and we just adapt to be as flexible as we can to keep serving our customers.
The Mass Ave location is 75% event space, but now Manship is considering shifting it to mainly retail as the holiday shopping season gets underway. He says his biggest concern is the mental health of his customers and not having a safe space for them to come due to the new restrictions.
We'd love to see our numbers back up again, but safety is more important than anything like that. So, we have made a conscious decision to be open instead of just shutting down entirely. We believe that, we want to see our business survive, and we want to see people that support us and that play the games that we work hard to foster. We get told all the time, this is the only place I go, right? This is the only place I get out to go because, COVID's locking us down.
As some businesses have been forced to close down completely due to the financial impact of the pandemic, the business owners we talked to are hopeful they will make it through and people will eventually come back downtown.
I know that our downtown is one of the best downtowns in the country. I know that we are going to get through this. We're going to get through this together.
Well, here's a breakdown of some of the changes for Marion County. Again, bars and entertainment venues will be capped at 25% indoor capacity, restaurants at 50%, large gatherings will be capped at 25% capacity, and religious events at 75%. Gyms and fitness studios will be capped at 25% capacity. We have the full list of restrictions at WRTV.com. If you have a large event planned like a wedding this month, you will need to adjust as new statewide restrictions went into effect today. Governor Holcomb reinstated restrictions on social gatherings after several weeks of sharp increases in COVID-19 hospitalizations and deaths. The restrictions depend on the county you live in. In the higher risk red counties on this map, gatherings are limited to just 20 people. In the orange counties, which is the next riskiest level, you are limited to 50 people. In Marion County, you cannot have an event with more than 50 people without a safety plan approved by the health department. Butler University will host fans at 25% capacity for its upcoming basketball games this season at Hinkle Fieldhouse. Face coverings, temperature checks, and using specific entrances and exits will be required. No season tickets will be offered for the 2020-21 season, and tickets will be available in blocks of 2 to 4 games each. Tickets will be available to those who were season ticket holders last year or have already made a deposit for the season. Butler is scheduled to start its season on November 25th against Western Michigan. Let's check the latest coronavirus numbers in our state. The Department of Health reports 6,844 new cases. 22 more Hoosiers have died with COVID-19, bringing the total number of deaths to 4,660. Since March, more than 251,000 Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus. More than 3.5 million tests have been administered in Indiana. Starting tomorrow, Wayne Township schools will transition all students to virtual learning once again. It comes in response to the rising number of coronavirus cases. Washington Township students will be back home Tuesday, while kindergarten through 6th grade students at Beech Grove will go virtual on Wednesday. Several districts will begin virtual learning on November 23rd, including IPS. Meanwhile, Perry Township and Speedway are waiting until November 30th. That is the deadline for Marion County schools to be completely virtual. This order will last until January 15th. We have a full list of each district's plan in the coronavirus section of WRTV.com. Now to your forecast, meteorologist Kyle Mounts is standing by. Kyle, we are wrapping up a windy and cold Sunday.
Yeah, those were some crazy winds out there this afternoon. Almost literally lost my hat there a couple of times, but we had a peak gust in Indianapolis of 66 miles per hour. That was the highest gust measured here across central Indiana, and that happened just before noon today. Those winds substantially lighter now. Still a little breezy, though, out of the west, around 15 to even about 20 miles per hour in the Kokomo area right now. We had a few light showers moving through Marion and Hartford City. Those have moved out, and we're going to continue to clear out those clouds for us here as we go through tonight. Temperatures, they've been kind of holding their own here, generally in the lower to middle 40s. 45 right now in Columbus, while it's 42 in Indy and 39 in the Peru area. As we go into tomorrow morning, we're going to have those temperatures that will drop down into the lower half of the 30s for us with clear skies. Still that southwest breeze around 10 miles per hour, so that's going to make it feel like the middle 20s. So we do have a wind chill that we're going to have to factor in there, but also a warm-up coming our way in the 7-day planning forecast. We'll check that out in just a few minutes.
Kyle, thank you. A Westfield veteran wants to make sure heroes get the help they need while hurt or deployed. WRTV's Troy Washington spoke with the man proposing the Hometown Hero Project. She shows us why he's so passionate about getting it passed.
I think it's giving back to those who give so much.
Scott Willis wants to make sure hometown heroes aren't forgotten.
I proposed a program called the Hometown Hero Program.
Willis is a veteran who remembers being deployed while his wife was expecting, after the two just bought a home.
Puts a lot of burden on the family members who are left behind when that happens.
The responsibility of shoveling snow and keeping up the lawn fell on his wife, who already had her hands full. To make sure the next person standing in his shoes won't have to worry, he's got a plan.
It's interesting, the state of Indiana has one of the largest National Guards per capita in the country. We're a very veteran-friendly state. But we have fallen woefully short in the programs that we provide for veterans. Up until about 3 years ago, Indiana was ranked 50 out of 51 states. They were including Puerto Rico in that for benefits and services for veterans. Under Governor Holcomb, we've actually seen that climb. We're getting better, but we're still 45th out of 51 states. I think we have a long way to go to take care, again, of those who put their lives on the line for us. And I think this is just a small token that we can add to that to help close that gap. As
a vice president of the Westfield City Council, he was inspired to bring the idea to his city.
I was sitting in on a city council meeting in Fishers, Indiana. And the mayor of Fishers, Scott Fadness, actually instituted this program in Fishers, and they've been doing this now since 2015.
The proposal applies to veterans who live in Westfield and local public safety personnel who are hurt or deployed.
These are the people that put themselves out on the front lines on a daily basis.
If passed, the upkeep would be made possible through partnerships in the community. Working for you in Westfield, Troy Washington, WRTV.
Troy, thank you. The proposal will be on the agenda for the upcoming meeting. Council members are expected to vote soon. We will keep you updated on any new developments. The Bartholomew County Sheriff's Department is mourning the loss of a K-9 officer killed while chasing a domestic battery suspect. K-9 Diesel was chasing the suspect after a brief pursuit near County Road 600 South and 650 West. Diesel pursued the man into the woods near Interstate 65. Diesel was later found along the side of the interstate. The sheriff's office is still investigating to determine how K-9 Diesel was killed. They are asking anyone who was traveling on I-65 near the 62-mile marker around 4 p.m. on Saturday afternoon to call them. People on social media are reacting to what they see as a sign of something good coming to a former Marsh location. The sign on the window at the former Marsh store on Kentucky Avenue indicates there are plans to bring a Charlie Brown's restaurant to the building. Charlie Brown's currently has a popular restaurant in Speedway. At least one fan posted she's happy to see a local business expanding. We are working to get more information on this story, and we will keep you updated. Right now, a full team of NASA astronauts is on the way to the International Space Station courtesy of the SpaceX rocket and spacecraft. Liftoff happened at about 7:30 tonight at Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The 4 astronauts will spend about 6 months there conducting research. More now from ABC's Gio Benitez.
Finally, this international crew of astronauts on their way to the International Space Station.
And resilience rises. Not even gravity contains humanity when we explore as one for all.
Their mission named Resilience, acknowledging just how challenging this year has been for everyone.
You know that year 2020 is a tough year for everyone, and we'd like to bring a positive image for the people who's watching our mission.
Weather delayed the launch a day because NASA, concerned not just about the rocket lifting off, but also coming back down after sending the astronauts into orbit.
We're going to reuse the first stage that we're flying on Crew 1. So it's important to recover that booster, and so we needed to get the drone ship in place.
28 hours later, once the astronauts are on the space station, NASA says they'll be conducting transformational research, especially when it comes to medical breakthroughs. And it's work these astronauts can't wait to get started. First-time flyer Victor Glover telling us it will be the trip of a lifetime.
I can't wait to go up above 100 kilometers and to live on the space station, and that fascination that I look forward to sharing with people, I have it as well. It burns bright.
This crew will spend about 6 months up at the space station, setting a new record for space travel. Gio Benitez, ABC News, Cape Canaveral.
Gio, thank you. COVID-19 has a strong grip on most of the country. Now it's the hospitals that are in need of resuscitation. The latest coming up. Kyle.
And those winds gusted over 60 miles per hour today. It's going to be breezy tomorrow, but nothing like that. We'll have those winds out of the southwest around 10 to 15 miles per hour with some higher gusts. I'll let you know when that's going to bring in a warm up. You're watching WRTV News at 11.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 11, streaming now.
Cases of COVID-19 are on the rise in almost every state. According to the COVID Tracking Project, 163,000 cases diagnosed in the past 24 hours, 1,321 new deaths, and more than 69,000 Americans are currently hospitalized. The healthcare system is feeling the strain.
We're trying to find staff. We're trying to get people from other units to help us out. Many days you just get in your car and cry.
On Friday, President Trump predicted Pfizer will soon receive emergency use authorization for its vaccine and says it could be available to the general population by April. President-elect Joe Biden and his team will start meeting with vaccine makers this week, while U.S. Department of Health and Human Services staff and a leading expert on the task force, Dr. Anthony Fauci, remain sidelined.
It's so hard because the energy of live music, you want them right there. Even when we play shows, I want you to be up as close as you can, but we just have to realize that for right now, we have to just change what we're doing.
COVID restrictions are impacting how musicians and artists like Indiana native Clayton Anderson perform and make a living. WRTV's Cornelius Hocker spoke to Anderson about the challenges he and so many other performers are facing and his plan to keep making music as the pandemic continues.
Back in March, when the pandemic changed everything, musicians across the country canceled concerts, but found other ways to connect with fans.
We streamed for, I think, like 8-9 weeks straight. And luckily, we were very blessed to have some very nice fans tune in and help get us through that time.
The live streams did well for Clayton Anderson and his bandmates. And then, once it looked like the spread of the virus was under control, they got the chance to do some outdoor shows.
If we were playing outside, we did really well. We had a lot of people show up, but everyone was spread out and they could have their space.
But as it gets colder and COVID-19 cases continue to rise, Clayton tells me they more than likely won't be performing indoors anytime soon, especially as major cities reinstate restrictions. Despite booking an indoor concert over the summer, Clayton isn't sure fans are ready for the crowds that come along with live music.
We struggled to sell 500 tickets back in the summer, and I thought we'd easily do that. So people are definitely still nervous and afraid to come inside. And I don't want I had the virus. It was not fun. I don't want anybody to get it. I don't want anyone to show up and risk themselves.
Clayton doesn't want to tell anyone how to live their lives, but if you like live music,
I think wearing a mask would be good. Just, be responsible, try to social distance yourself.
And he hopes fans across the country listen to guidance and advice from medical professionals so everyone can eventually get back to enjoying music together.
It's all right where I belong.
Working for you, Cornelius Hawker, WRTV.
Cornelius, thank you. Well, state parks have been a good option for Hoosiers who want to get outdoors during the pandemic and stay a safe distance from others. However, if you've also been enjoying eating at the state park inns, there is a change. They are going to carry out only, including Thanksgiving. If you had a reservation, you will be notified. Carry out only will continue through December 15th for the safety of the guests and staff members. And some state parks will be closed for 2 days next week for the annual hunts to control the deer population. The first hunts are Monday and Tuesday. The second hunts are scheduled for November 30th and December 1st. The parks will close to the general public the evening before the 2-day hunt begins. More than 15 state park properties are impacted by closures, including Brown County, Fort Harrison, and Turkey Run State Park. Kyle.
Well, it's feeling a little bit cooler out there tonight than it did this time yesterday, where we had temperatures in the 50s. Now we've got them in the 40s. Also a little breezy out there, so those wind chill numbers are actually in the middle 30s for us. And as we get into tomorrow morning, we'll drop down upper 20s around Logansport and Peru, right at 30 degrees in Indy, and about the freezing mark in Indianapolis and the Columbus area at 33. Lots of sunshine going to be back in our Monday forecast, so you're going to need, in addition to the jacket here, those sunglasses. Temperatures that will be climbing only into the upper 30s here as we get mid-morning, and eventually to around 46 for that lunch hour. So if you are running out for lunch, probably not going to be eating it outdoors tomorrow. Then as we head into the afternoon, we'll see those numbers recovering into the lower and middle 50s. Again, at times we'll have those winds out of the southwest around 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's a look at those high temperatures. Indianapolis coming in at 53, right around 50 in Kokomo, Muncie, and Fishers. With all that sunshine, we'll be enjoying 56, so a little warmer for you there in Monroe County and Bloomington for your Monday afternoon. Winds get a little more breezy as we head into the evening hours, but still about half of what they were today. We'll see some 30-mile-per-hour gusts here. And notice these winds, they start to turn out of the northwest as we go into Tuesday morning. We're going to have a weather system that comes through here. Not expecting any wet weather with it, but it will bring in a shot of some cooler air. Temperatures that will only make their way into the 40s as we head through our Tuesday. But you also notice we will have the sunshine, and that makes a big difference this time of year. 42 and sun feels a little bit better than 42 and some cloud cover. Now going Tuesday night into Wednesday, you're going to want to put this on your to-do list for the week. The Leonid meteor shower will be peaking with the potential of seeing 10 to 12 meteors per hour there. Best viewing looks like it's going to be before sunrise on Wednesday, and we are going to have crystal clear skies, so some great viewing opportunities out there as we go again Tuesday night into Wednesday for that meteor shower. We start off Wednesday cold in the 20s. We'll get to just 48 for the afternoon, but then those temperatures will be jumping for us back to 61 on Thursday. And in the 7-day planning forecast, as we put everything together, you can see that temperature transition for us. 53 on Monday, then a little cooler here Tuesday, Wednesday, with that coldest start to the day at 26 degrees Wednesday morning. Then by Thursday, it gets breezy again, but those winds are out of the southwest now, and that gets us to a high of 61. And we're going to hold those highs in the lower 60s right through next weekend. That's about 10 degrees or more above average for this time of year. So not records, but certainly some mild numbers. And we won't have to wear those heavier winter coats for very long with some rain by Sunday.
All right, Kyle, thank you. His presence still looms large in the Democratic Party, and it will likely get another boost with a highly anticipated book release this week. But what's on Barack Obama's mind right now? He tells all to Oprah, and we have the highlights coming up next. Nearly half of President-elect Joe Biden's transition team is made up of people of color. The team's diversity data also shows just over half the staff members are women. People with disabilities and members of the LGBTQ community are also going to help with the transition. During his campaign, Biden was also committed to diversity. That was clear by his choice of Vice President-elect Kamala Harris as his running mate. Former President Barack Obama is set to release his new memoir this week, and he talked with Oprah about it in a revealing conversation about some pivotal moments in the White House. More now from ABC's Janae Norman.
The former president sitting down with the media mogul, Obama and Oprah. No topic off limits.
Well, time and again, you question in a promised land your own vanity and ego.
By the time I entered into the Oval Office, what interested me was what could I get done? And I think that to actually imagine yourself running for president requires a certain element of megalomania and insanity.
Yeah. The candid conversation highlighting former President Barack Obama's upcoming memoir, A Promised Land.
I was still trying to prove myself worthy to a father who had abandoned me. Live up to my mother's starry-eyed expectations for her only son.
As he opens up about the difficult moments during his presidency on the Apple TV Plus show, The Oprah Conversation.
Do you think that if America could see the photos of not just Sandy Hook, but all of these school shootings and unnecessary violent shootings, would that make a difference in how Americans feel about gun violence?
I have to say, Oprah, it's gotten very polarized. I will say that was not only maybe the saddest day of my presidency, but when Congress failed to do anything in the aftermath of Sandy Hook was probably the angriest I ever was during my presidency. I was disgusted and appalled by the inaction.
The book is dedicated to his wife and 2 daughters, comes nearly 4 years since leaving the White House, and the 44th president isn't showing any signs of slowing down. From recently hitting the campaign trail
That's what I do.
For his vice president and longtime friend turned President-elect Joe Biden to sitting down with NBA All-Star LeBron James.
If everybody was heard, this country wouldn't be as divided as it seemed.
That was Janae Norman reporting. And again, Barack Obama's latest book, A Promised Land, will be released this Tuesday. We'll be right back after this break. Walmart says most of its stores and neighborhood markets are now open from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. In a tweet, it explains the longer hours are to spread out the shopping day and avoid congestion. It says the exceptions are stores with reduced hours. Those will keep their schedules over the summer. Walmart extended hours at most stores until 10 p.m. for the same reason. While shopping online for milk and eggs from Costco, you can now get a private Aviation membership too. It's just a wee bit more expensive than most Costco products with a price tag of $17.5 thousand. That'll buy you a year-long membership to Wheels Up Core Private Aviation. The membership gives you access to about 1,500 aircrafts that you can book on the Wheels Up app. It also comes with a $4,000 flight credit and $3,500 Costco shop card. All right, well, listen to this. That is a deal. Bacon and beer. If those are 2 of your favorite things, Waffle House has a new product for you. It's Bacon Infused Red Ale. Waffle House worked with a brewer to come up with this new concoction. It will be available in 6-packs, draft, or growlers on December 18th. The company says it smells like bacon and pairs well with breakfast foods, Kyle. I think I'll stick to my mimosas.
Yeah, you know, I think just because you can doesn't mean you got to do that, right?
Right.
All right, the forecast there the next few days, cool to start the week, but a little warmer by Thursday.
All right, Kyle, thank you, and thank you for joining us. Have a great night.